Hi everybody. Well, we have had two foundations drop back to back. One from Natasha Denona, the HyGlam, and one from Makeup by Mario, the natural finish one. I have dedicated reviews to each of these wear tests, the whole shebang. I get into a lot of detail, but I thought it would be helpful and interesting if I just sat down and put these two to the test, one on one side of my face, one on the other side of my face, so that we can see what the similarities are, what the differences are, and hopefully that will help you determine which one may be better suited to you. Is it the Mario? Is it the Natasha? Or is it both? We're about to find out. I already have them both, so I don't need to make any decisions. This is for you, just in case you're on the fence. But seriously, I did try these side by side yesterday, and I do have some thoughts. I wanted to sit down on camera and do it again and go through everything that I noticed yesterday and also what I might notice today, if it's the same, if anything has changed at all. Okay, here are our test subjects side by side. They both have frosted bottles. Both are beautiful. Both are very nice. I prefer the way the Mario feels in my hand. They're both gorgeous though, and they both have 30 mils of product or 1 fluid ounce. The Mario is $48 US and the Natasha is $52 US. That in Canadian dollars is 70 for the Mario or 73 for Natasha. Mario comes in 32 shades, Natasha comes in 52 shades, and they correspond to her concealer line. In the Mario, I have shade 8N, and in Natasha, I have shade N7. Both have to be shaken really, really well. I'm gonna swatch the Mario first so that you can see. What I noticed is that as it dries down, it will change color. It will get darker, but it does not get darker throughout the day. So please keep that in mind. It's only on the initial dry down that you will see a change in the color. It will get darker. This will make it maybe a little bit difficult to choose a shade. So keep that in mind if you're swatching in store. And when you're picking online, really, after a minute, it starts to change color. So this is the Mario I have swatched in 8N right here. And as you take a look at that, I'll let you know what the claims are. It is a medium coverage that's buildable and has a natural finish that's not too shiny and not too matte. It's best, they say, for normal to oily skin, has 16-hour hydration. I'm gonna keep my hand up here so you can see it dry down and change color. I know, I have my fist in your face, but I really do want you to see in real time how long it takes for it to dry down. So this claims to have 16-hour hydration. It's sweat, humidity resistant, all day shine control. I have something to say about that. And there are no longevity claims on this particular foundation, but I can tell you from wearing it a few times that it does last. It does have lasting power. Okay, so hopefully you can see that there, as this is drying down, that the shade is getting deeper. Okay, I'm gonna swatch Natasha in N7 for you now, and I will let you know what the claims are. Hopefully this is a helpful comparison. I have to tell you that both work for me. Both do. Even though the Mario right now looks darker, has a completely different tone than the Natasha, they both work for me. So the Natasha also is a medium buildable coverage with a radiant finish, whereas the Mario is a natural finish. Although the Natasha doesn't stay completely 100% radiant, it does dry down to quite a natural looking skin-like finish. Natasha's claims to be for all skin types from dry to oily and anything in between, and also has a claim of hydrating the skin, just like the Mario. Both say they're blurring, both say they're natural second skin finish, but Natasha does have an 18-hour claim. I have worn Natasha for past 12 hours, and I can tell you it is very, very long lasting, but so is the Mario. Spoiler alert, I will let you know that both of these are very, very long wearing, despite the fact that Mario has no claim of wear. Natasha and Mario, what are you doing to me? They're different, but they're similar. And that's why I thought it would be really, really helpful to do this exercise with you. If you don't watch me regularly, I should say I have normal skin most of the time. 75, 80% of the time. There are certain times of the year that I might have an oily T-zone. That's not the case at this moment in time. And sometimes I can get a little bit dry, mostly in the winter, but not always. So for the most part, I have normal skin. I have nothing on my face today except for the EstéeLauder DoubleWear concealer. And for shadow, I use the Natasha Mini Sculpt, a palette just for a very, very simple look. And for mascara, actually, I'm using the Jones Road mascara. I'm not going to add any primer today. Usually when I do a foundation review and wear test, I'll add primer to one side of my face. I did that for both of these reviews. Primer, for me personally, is not necessary for either of these foundations at all. But if you use a primer for pore filling or oil control or whatever the case may be, obviously that would be a benefit to you. But if you don't normally wear a primer, you don't need one. It doesn't do anything in terms of longevity for these two foundations in my experience. Oh, and you know what? I don't have any lipstick on. I do have a new one to try on for you today. I'll do that later because I don't want to mess it up when I'm applying the foundation. But POV sent me over their whole line. I haven't had a chance to try anything else. I did try though the Ampit, it's like a lip moisturizer, lip treatment. It's so good. It is so good. So I just want to add a little bit more just to keep my lips a little bit, you know, moisturized and plump. Nothing else on my face other than what I mentioned, just my regular morning skincare. I have two BK Beauty 101 brushes here. One is going to be for Natasha, the other for Mario. Okay, I'm going to start with Mario on this side of the face, shaking again. And I'm starting with Mario because by the time I get Natasha on this side, this will have dried down and be its true color. Just did one pump because that will be enough to do my whole face. I forgot to put a mirror in front of me, one sec. All right, mirror all set. So what I say, yes, this side will be Mario. I'm gonna start in the middle of the face and get this on. So this goes on very nicely. And I do have to build up here. I have a little bit of extra redness here today, I'm noticing. But this is very buildable from what I have experienced with this foundation. And it goes on literally like nothing. It goes on smoothly, easily. It glides right on, puts a veil over your face, and it looks great. Like it really, really does look great. Very natural, and it dries down. Well, it's not dried down at this point, but it does dry down, but it's not drying in any way. We might get some overlap here because I can't be like that precise. So down like the nose and on my forehead here and my chin, there could be a little bit of overlap. So keep that in mind, but I don't think that's going to be a huge problem. So I think I am going to build it up just a little bit more. I'm doing like half a pump. And I just want to cover this area right here. For me is my problem area, and I just want to perfect it just a little bit more. And so this is much lighter than I would like my foundation, but as I mentioned, it will dry down to a darker shade. It's not a gigantic leap in shade, but it will be different. And what I noticed yesterday when I did this side by side for myself off camera is blend yourself. Blend yourself down your neck, because what I did notice was a little bit of a line here where I didn't blend properly, like my fault. But I did notice kind of a line that was a little bit darker than everything else. So just keep that in mind. Make sure you blend, 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 blend. And everything sits so naturally, I have to say. Very natural looking. It's almost like I have absolutely nothing on my face at all. Doesn't feel heavy, doesn't look heavy, but it has done something to just even everything out, and everything looks just beautiful. Really, truly beautiful. All right, so this is the Mario. That was quick and easy. Okay, let's get Natasha over on the other side of the face. One pump as well. I want to keep this fair and even so you can see what one pump will do for each side of the face. Immediately, I feel much more hydration. Like I can feel it as I'm applying it. This is a serum foundation, so that makes sense, right? Mario has no claim of being a serum foundation. And you're asking, well, why would you compare these two? Well, I'm comparing them because they they both came out at the same time and I love them both. And what I've been seeing online is that people are not confused, but are asking a lot of questions about which one is better, which one do you like more. That's why I wanted to do this exercise. Like I said, I did it yesterday because I was curious myself. Now I'm gonna build the Natasha a little bit more, just like I did the Mario in my problem area. I have some darker spots that I like to cover. I don't mind if they show through a little bit, and that is the case with both of these. They both build up nicely, but they are both a medium coverage. The Natasha builds not more easily because you can build the Mario easily. There's just a little bit more coverage when I build on the Natasha side, but not by much, not by much. And it's not heavy looking in any way. Also very, very natural looking and also very skin-like. I can't tell on either side that I am wearing foundation. Now, off the bat, the Mario side is much more matte looking. It's not dry and it's not flat, but in comparison to the Natasha side, there is a glow. There's a radiance to it, but it's not wet looking. It's not too radiant, but there is a radiance to this side of my face, whereas on the Mario side, it's just very, very natural looking. There's no glow in comparison. I think the shade N7 in the Natasha is better suited for me than 8N in Mario. And I feel like I need a different shade in this foundation. I need a little bit more warmth on this side of my face. But shade aside, I want to do the sticky test. And I have to tell you, they both feel exactly the same, maybe a hair more tack on the Natasha side, but that definitely goes away. Even though the Natasha is supposed to be a radiant foundation, which it is, that slowly goes away, much slower than the Mario. The Mario will dry down much more quickly than the Natasha, but both of them don't have sticky face. Like hair sticking to your face situation, that will not happen with either of these. It just takes the Natasha a little bit longer to get to that point, whereas with Mario, it happens almost instantly, and you're left with not a dry look, not a flat look, just a extremely natural look. Natasha has a radiance, but it's not a shine. It has a little bit more life to it. This side of my face looks much more alive than this side of my face. But this side of my face, if I covered this one, it does look beautiful, natural, and gorgeous. Okay, we'll let this be and see how it goes throughout the day. I am going to powder my T-zone, which I normally do, and under my eyes with the Laura Mercier Secret Eye Brightening Powder and the brush that goes along with it, because I love the way it sits under my eyes, or fits under my eyes, I should say. And I'm just gonna get it right here where I might or might not experience shine. I have been loving this powder, especially for under my eyes, but I have been taking it right here between my brows, above my brows right here, and it does an amazing job. Normally when I do a foundation review, full day wear test, all of that, I don't add any bronzer or blush or anything like that because I do want to see as much surface of my face with the foundation and the foundation alone, just to make sure that nothing else is interfering with it. But today, I think I'm going to add some blush and some bronzer. I'm going to use a matte bronzer today. I don't want to add anything with any glow to it because I want to see if any glow that we see is from the foundation or not. So matte is the way to go for this test, I think. Just going to hit my forehead, get a little bit of color there on the cheeks. I think we're okay now for bronzer. I'm not being too picky. I just want to add a little bit of bronze to my face. And for blush, I'm going to use the Forever Blush Soft Filter in Orchid. It's so good. It is so good. A little bit on each side. And I'm going to take an IT Cosmetics brush in 03. This is meant for liquid blushes. The Dior is not a liquid. It is not a cream. It is a moussey thing. Okay. And I don't know what to categorize it as because I haven't used anything that's as whipped and creamy but moussey. I'm gonna add a little bit more, just a smidge, because I can't get enough of this shade. This is my favorite shade. And this blends like a dream. It looks like a cloud, like a little cloud on your cheeks. All right, let's do a lip. This is new. I have not shown this on my channel yet. It's from Violette FR. It's the Plume lip. The shade is a French name that I cannot pronounce. I gotta check Google. I don't want to embarrass myself, okay, by trying to pronounce this. I'm gonna just put it on the screen, okay? And then I'm gonna contact Mr. Google and do one of those like translation things. This is to die for. Look at that even color that you get. This isn't a stain. It's like a moussey lip color. It's matte, but it doesn't dry out your lips. So good. Is this too much? I'm not used to darker colors like this, but my goodness. So good. And these will not like travel into any little fine lines or anything. Whatever you see is what you will get, and it will not move or change. And it's pretty long lasting, I have to say. Do we like this shade on me? I don't know. Sometimes I don't know if it's the shock of having something that's like a little bit deeper and darker on my face that I think it doesn't suit me, but that doesn't mean it doesn't suit me. I'm just not used to it. But do I like what I see? I definitely like what I see. Just have to get used to it, you know? But I love the shade. It's so gorgeous. Okay, so this is what we are looking like. Mario on this side. And we have Natasha on this side. They both look gorgeous. They both look beautiful, especially when I add bronzer, especially when I add blush, and then you get a whole look together. There's very little difference. I do film in natural light, so I'm going to take a wear test for as long as I possibly can. All right, I'm going to go do my day. I have a lot to do today, and I will see you either in a check-in if anything changes, or I'll see you at the end of the day. All right, this is going to be the final and only check-in because as I was going throughout my day, I was checking myself in the mirror every hour, on the hour. I even had alarms set on my phone so I didn't forget to check in. And there was really nothing of note up until maybe a couple of hours ago. So I thought I'd just take it to the end of the day. We are at 10 hours right now. I haven't touched anything up. I haven't touched my face. I just added a little bit more of that Violette FR Plume in the shade I can't pronounce. Now, if I wasn't scrutinizing, analyzing, nitpicking these foundations side by side, I would say that from afar, they look identical, truly. I don't know why I did this to myself. Why would I put these two next to each other? I know why, to help you decide, but I might not be that much help, to be honest with you. They both have the same level of coverage. Maybe the Natasha just a smidge, a little smidgy poo more. And that is it. They both wear really, really well, and they're both very lightweight. You cannot feel like you have a foundation on your skin. They are both quite beautiful. So just a reminder that this is the side with the Mario and this is the side with the Natasha. Really and truly, could you distinguish one from the other? Just with the naked eye? I certainly can't. I really, really can't. But as I mentioned, if I'm going to get down to the nitty gritty here, I'm going to tell you what I notice. So this is the Natasha side, okay? And this right here is the Mario side. Right. I know. I can't tell either. However, I'm getting a little bit of shininess right here on the Mario side, which I did when I did my review of it, but I didn't get it on the side that I had powdered. But even though I powdered over here today, I still had a little bit of shine come through. It is not horrible. It is not terrible, but it is something to note. Now, I do also have some fading on my chin on both sides, and that's me, because this is me. I do this all the time. Don't ask me why. I have no idea, but I do this a lot. So I'm not even going to worry about that. That is a me problem, not a you problem, and not a foundation problem. There is something about the Natasha side, though, that kind of catches the light just a little bit more. It's luminous, but it's not wet or sparkly or anything like that. It has dried down. Both of them have dried down to the same level. However, there's a plumpiness and a life, just a smidge more than the Mario. I look a little bit more healthy and plump and a little bit more life on this side of my face. I noticed that when I first applied them side by side, and I'm still noticing it now. Just in general, my eye goes to the Natasha side. If you like a more natural looking finish, even though Natasha looks natural, don't get me wrong. If you want an even more natural looking finish, a little bit more flat than the Natasha, then Mario's for you. Now, I do want to say this about the Mario. I find it interesting that I have a little bit of shine coming through over here. I don't have that happening on the Natasha side. I didn't in my wear test. I didn't when I used it again. There's no oil coming through. This for all skin types claim on the Natasha, 100%, I would agree. Now, Mario claims that this is for normal to oily skin types. And I would say it's the reverse, or maybe it's just for everyone. I have normal skin and I'm still getting some oils coming through. So it makes me so curious why in this area I'm getting oils for the second time, even though I powdered that area. So I don't know. I don't know if anybody is oily out there, and if you have used this foundation at this point, could you please let me know what your experience with it is? Now, that was the nitpickiness in me because this is a side-by-side, and that is the whole point of the video. But if you twisted my arm and you said you have life or death, you have to pick one, I would say the Natasha, there's just this little degree of something, a little bit something more that I personally prefer on my face, on my skin. However, honestly, I don't think you can go wrong with either of these. It might come down to finding the right shade for you. Again, Natasha has 52 shades and Mario has 32 shades. And also I'm going to say again that I think if I tried a smidge darker in the Mario, that I might have an even harder time deciding between the two, but I really don't have to decide. I will happily use both of these. I'm so glad to have them both. So I don't know how helpful I have been. Have I been? I hope so. I really do. It's just good to see a visual, right? To have a visual and see one on one side of the face, one on the other, so that you can decide. And based on the description and based on the claims and based on my experience, hopefully that helps you if you were going to go for one or the other, if you were in the middle and you didn't know, that hopefully that helps in some way. Please do let me know if you want me to do more of these and compare foundations or anything else side by side, anything that I can dedicate a whole video to. I'm glad to do it. So leave me some suggestions or anything you want to see down below. And if I can do it, I definitely will. Look, all I know is that the face looks fire. It really does. 10 and a half hours in, because I've been rambling and jambling. I'm going to edit stuff out, but it has been yet another half hour, okay? And my skin, looks so good. Everything looks so good. You can't go wrong. You really can't with either of these. Well, that is it. That is all for this video. Again, I hope you found it helpful. I do have the Hung Van Gogh. I ordered a couple of things from his new line. That's coming up. I ordered the 2 new Natasha Midi Plus palettes, so we can take a look at those. I also have the new Gucci Skin Tint coming to me. So much stuff. So much stuff. It's exciting. I love it. It's a little bit of an overload. I wish they would spread the stuff out and not bunch it up at the end of the year. Anyway, I'm going to say goodbye now. Please do subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Follow me on Instagram too, and I will see you in the next one, hopefully. Bye.